All right, y'all, when we traveled to Iceland for the 8th movie, we stepped into the cold, unfortunately, to capture some of the biggest action scenes in franchise history. Take a look at everything that went into the making of Fast 8's climatic action sequences. Like I said, the biggest one yet. F8. We at it again. Sending love from Iceland. Let's go.
I don't think anybody's going to ever see an action sequence like the one we filmed on the frozen lake in Iceland. It's an incredible third act.
We have action set pieces unlike anything you've ever seen.
I think it delivers everything you've grown to be accustomed to in a Fast and Furious film.
The team of artists that are working on this film bring a lot to the table.
Literally the best in the business that has ever been.
We're standing on the lake right now, you guys.
22 inches of ice. But when we first got here, couldn't even put a car out here. We didn't come out here on snowmobiles because the car would fall. It was only 8 inches when we first came out.
Just to figure out if we can shoot, if it's safe enough, it's a production in itself.
When people are risking themselves for stunts and doing it practical like we do, instead of just saying, let's go on a computer and just draw it in, to me, I love it.
Our safety team has 10 people. We have 2 rescue diver teams. We have ice engineer, myself, and we have 2 medics. And our ice engineers drilled some test holes to measure the strength of the ice, measure the thickness of the ice, and the general condition of the ice.
The engineers would take a look at it and they would know within 5-10 minutes how many pounds per square foot we could then put on the ice.
We had 16 cars out there one time on a lake. That's a lot of weight. I don't think anybody ever shot with that many cars on a frozen lake.
All the heavy vehicles, we want, 30 to 50 feet space in between them.
Don't put them all together or you're just gonna sink. Especially in the Ripsaw, which was 14,000 pounds. And once everybody heard that you'd sink, nobody got near him.
We have some of the newest, fastest, most technologically advanced vehicles on planet Earth. This is Roman's vehicle, and as you can tell, it stands out. We're about to test the Lamborghini on the ice.
We did about 2 days of testing nothing but studs on tires to see which ones work better for what cars.
That means steel studs driven into the wheels so that you can get traction.
First Lamborghini in ice.
Today we're at the part where our heroes first get on the ice.
We wrote this sequence where it was a race across a frozen lake.
The cars that you see driving on the ice, they're actual Lamborghinis. Everyone always says that. Is that a kid car, But no, they're real Lamborghinis.
What happens is there's a rocket is fired. And it goes right behind Roman, hits the ground, and opens this big crack up that's following him. Sucks half of his car in. So to do that, I had him cut a big trough in the ice. I think it was like 150 feet long. And then filled it with water and ice, and the Lambo goes darting into the water underneath the ice. It actually went under a lot farther than they thought. They thought it was going to hit and skip, and it just dove under beautifully.
Roll cameras. Rolling. It's about 22,000 gallons of water. About to jump in and do this scene.
Tyrese is in the vehicle and he's cracked through the ice and sinking under the water. We're gonna put Tyrese in the car dry, slowly lower him down, and we've cut holes in the bottom of the car so the water can rush in and fill up, and it'll stop right about at his chin level. On action, we open up our big giant valve and let the water run down our slip and slide ramp here and into the tank and over the windshield of Tyrese's car.
The door's gonna get pulled out of the ice, fly out 24 to 30 feet, hit the ground with a big thud.
We got Roman over here sliding down on the door. And right here, we're gonna set off an explosion. We have 2 sticks of Kenny Pack. We're gonna have 6 gallons of alcohol fuel mixture to make the fireball and the snow explosion, simulating the torpedo hitting the ice.
Another day in the life of a stuntman.
Biggest gag we did up in Iceland was what we call the submarine breach. Cypher has infiltrated the submarine, so she now has control of it. The submarine comes from a depth and shoots straight up through the bottom of the ice. What they've asked me to do is to try and bend the surface of the ice in a sphere shape directly underneath the bad guys.
So we're gonna have 4 of the bad guys on tow lines and guide cables. They'll come in at about 25, 30 miles an hour, and they're gonna drive over our explosive charges. This is gonna be the single largest amount of high explosives that will set off, 180 pounds.
You have to have your head on a swivel, and you have to really be thinking all the time just to keep everything safe.
We have a good estimate where everything's gonna go, but we don't know what happens when these things are compounded. So we're gonna err on the side of extreme safety for this.
So what we do, stick the dynamite in a 6-gallon pail of ammonium nitrate. We drill a hole in the ice. We sink in a bucket. There's going to be 4 of them, 1 for each vehicle, and then we're able to pull the vehicle right over the top of it and not deviate, an inch in either direction. So we're going to go with 6 gallons of ammonium nitrate under each vehicle at a depth of 12 feet. Once they get directly above the ammonium nitrate, we trigger our button and we blow the ice up. And that should give us about 20 to 30 feet of lift on each of the vehicles. We should have all 4 vehicles flying in the air, flipping, tossing, turning, and about a 200-foot geyser going up into the sky with chunks of ice this big. You won't hear it too much because the water muffles the sound, but you will definitely feel it in your bones. A lot of power.
Oh, shit! We're gonna need a bigger truck!
Awesome. Nice job, you guys.